under that cold exterior. Wow, quite a starting revelation, I must say. Whoever thought of a third party translating the entire scene or crime like that? Indeed, my lord. Nevertheless, there are some immutable facts here, principally that the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume, is the only person who could possibly have committed this crime. No, the light fell from the window. No, I disagree. Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there is someone else. Another person could be responsible for the knife in the victim's back. Forgive me for being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecutor is probably well aware of this possibility already. Lord fancies, this is true? Very well. Name the person if you will, and if further investigation is warranted. The prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing. You will name this other person who could have perpetuated the crime, Mrs. Garrideb.
Take that!
The defense would once again like to request the cross-examination of a new witness, my lord. Once again, my assistant made the same request earlier, in order to finally reveal the truth about this case. It's imperative that I cross-examine juror number 4, Mrs. Joanna Garrideb. Me? Me? Oh dearie me!
Objection!
Oops, I think I kind of botched up that voice. That request has already been denied. But the situation is very different now. Mrs. Garrideb, answer me this. What do you want now, you little toad? You're the one who looks like a toad. At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. John Garrideb. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited. And to clear the smoke from the room, your husband opened a window that looks out over BR Road. Well, what of it? You threw this book at your husband and he was cornered with his back against the window. Upon striking the pane of the open top hinged casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we now know to be the true scene of the incident. Yes, and I said, what of it? During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you do not just books, but anything you can lay your hands on. So, let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Garrideb. This knife, the one removed from the victim's back. Have you really never laid eyes on it before? I don't recall it. Seriously? I'm supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? And anyway, the man over there and all the regalias of members of the jury needed to testify, didn't he? Conveniently, yes.
Objection!
No, I have no recollection of saying that at all, juror number 4. Oh. Make no mistake, you jurors are not special in any way. You're not immune to the judicial process. If you know something about this knife, madame, let the truth come out. But that's just a common or garden knife. It could just come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If one went missing, how would you expect me to know? What's that? Are you joking? What are you saying? Please, Mrs. Garrideb. No, you listen to me. I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that it injured someone. Do you hear? I couldn't bear it. Oh, the poor woman. So, yes, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence if you're going to insist on this being my fault. You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife if that's what you think. Come along now. Chop chop. Do your worst. Well, Mrs. Naruhodo, if I had evidence like that, believe me, I would have thrown it at her already. Then take the stand, juror. Oh. Whoops. The prosecution does not object to the defense's request to cross-examine this woman. Thank you, Lord Fancies. I'm going to have to testify? Yes. Juror number 4. As I'm sure you appreciate having observed it with your own eyes today, witness testimony could lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed. Truths of which the witnesses themselves may not even have been aware. Oh, dearie me. So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Garrideb. And mark my words, in this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, consuls? Certainly, my lord. Oh, that's what I'm hoping for, my lord. It's such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real. I'm here, in the Old Bailey, and I'm a lawyer. Witness, state your name and occupation. Oh, yes, my name is Joanne Garrideb. And I'm, well, I'm a juror and such like. It sounds like even she doesn't know she's a housewife or a maid or what anymore. The court has decided your testimony is required in order to clarify matters in this case. Do you understand, madame? Yes, my lord. You will tell the court everything that took place in your household on the evening in question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth. Oh, dearie me. Chin up, Joanne. Nothing to worry about now. Oh, I didn't know you were here, John. the best husbando in this game. Wasn't only you in the room that day, old thing, was it? Rather think I'll testify as well, don't you? But what about your knee, dear? Don't you worry about that. Hardy knows it. I'm not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face disciplinary action alone. Oh, John. I presume you are Mr. John Garrideb? Yes, sir. Former 2nd Lieutenant, the 3rd Regiment, the 4th Northumberland Fusiliers, sir. Seeing my fair share of action now living the quiet life, as it were. The quiet life? We're not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse on the day in question. Well, yes, quite. I believe this may represent a first and proud history of the British court. Calling a juror to witness stand is unprecedented. However, the court will hear testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. You will recall clearly and concisely the events in your home at the time of the incident in question. Sir, at once. Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I did a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. Knocked the candlestick over, set fire to the carpet, soon had it out though and got the window open. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him. Plenty of knives around our place, can't say I noticed the 1 or 2 I'm missing, I'm afraid. If that belly thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you have a job proving, I think. Sounds as though it was quite the battlefield in your household that evening. Although an entire one-sided assault, it seems. The enemy caught us on the hop, sir. Had no choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy had been shelling us for another minute, we'd have been toast. Of course, veterans such as myself, it is only to aware that on every battlefield just a gnat's whisker from death at any moment. Are we still talking about Amara the car here? Well, I must say I'm dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of this jackknife. In combat, one's focus narrows such that surroundings are barely noticed. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have testified already. This may be a dead end. Fanzies may well be right. Well, whatever the chances, we only have this last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, I'm afraid so. Very well, Counsel. Begin your cross-examination. Alright, let's go.
Hold it!
Hell on earth. I say, what the chap says I can't recall such thing. It's such demon, cause common decency not to dry it all up. And besides, half of it was wide of the mark anyway. A likely story. These waters are very deep. And what transpired next?
Hold it!
Just so happens there's some ballast water around that evening, so Sasha about to put it out. A most precarious situation put yourself in. Ours is a 3-story townhouse on the west side of the street where the water main isn't connected yet. How to draw water from a public water pump during the day if you need any, you see? The lodgers always moan that they can't get any water at night. Although, the little mustache Japanese man buys water in bottles, I believe. The defendant Mr. Natsumi, you mean? Yes, he receives his stipend for his studies, you know, from his home country. Can you imagine being able to brew a pot of tea at all hours? He's obviously very well off. Have you actually seen the state of the man? I believe he uses all his income to buy books. Well, anyway, the point is I was able to dosify water, fortunately enough.
Hold it!
Even though the room was on fire, as far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw. That's most certainly not true of Mrs. Auto takedown, Mr. Naruhodo. How did she know I was thinking that? So, please cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items that you threw at your husband that day? In all honesty, I don't recall. But I feel I must point it out that I'm no monster. Let me see. Some bread, a cabbage, garlic, a towel, a sponge, a napkin.
Excuse me.
Excuse me? Do you have something to add, sir? Mr. Garrideb. Don't shoot. Sorry, beg your pardon. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind? Nothing of any significance, no. Just that the barrage of projectiles the old thing launched in my direction was something more solid than she applies books, bricks, and a fire poker, I seem to recall. Ouch. And the woman's aim is uncanny. Stop doing that. Oh, dearie me. Ever so sorry, dear. You did that on purpose. What's she even doing with a teapot in here? Honestly, John, I would never have done such things that obviously you just did. Well, take a look at this then. How do you suppose that happened, huh? Your pipe, sir? Had to see my hand as usual at the time of the assault. Knocked it clean out with one of her saw projectiles she did, yes. And when I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. I had to see a sponge through that sort of damage. I see, your pipe was broken. It'll never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I managed to bandage the thing up for now. You're one to exaggerate, aren't you, dear? I wonder what we make of this account. It could be important. The defense believes Mr. Garrideb's remarks just now to be of great significance.
Objection.
The swear veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betray a fiery wife, and pipes as well as hearts may be broken. Sentimental wisdom perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to the formal testimony. Indeed, common sense one might say. A might one? In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir? Huh? Well, I don't see why not. Oh, dearie me, there you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with a young lady. Oh my god. Can you, like, talk to any woman? Like, without you, like, freaking... Oh my god. Okay. Let's, examine the pipe. It looks to be sorry stay with that badge around it, doesn't it? Like, but for some reason, it feels slightly ominous to me. Like it's trying to shout a warning. Probably because it's the same blue as Mrs. Garrideb's, dressing gown. I suppose it must have been a considerable sentimental value to Mr. Garrideb, given that he's gone to trouble repairing it like this. Either that or I can't afford to replace it. What is this? Oh, something just twinkled in the chamber? Something stuck in there, I think. Let's turn it over and give it a shake. What's this? It's a tiny fragment of metal. It looks like the tip of a blade or something? The tip of a blade surely couldn't be... the knife? Oh my god. I think that's it. Wait. I should examine that. This thing. This is a tiny piece of metal we found in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe. It looks like the tip of a blade or something. The tip of a blade? Is something wrong, Mr. Naruto? I don't really know. There's something bothering me, but I can't quite put my finger on what it is. Perhaps in that case, it would be wise to examine some of the other pieces of evidence again? Huh. Maybe we should examine the knife. The knife has been broken. The tip of the knife has been broken. Look here, just at the tip. A small piece of blade appears to be missing. Wait, part of it is missing? I could be wrong, but I just got the feeling. You remember this? Ah, that's the tiny fragment of metal that I found inside Mr. Garrideb's pipe. Yes, and just maybe. Oh my, it's a perfect fit. Somehow I just knew it. Wow. I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that your request was turned down. Oh no, it's fine. Thanks to Sound, we have some new evidence to work with. We should examine it carefully. We just did. Well, thank you for that. Rebuttal, Mr. Garrideb. Now if we return to cross the matter, what can you tell the court about the knife used to attack the victim?
Hold it!
Sorry, would you care to elaborate? Nothing to say really. Rather partial to a spot of carving, you see. Pipes and whatnot, fishing tackle, you know, sort of thing. It's a passion we both share. I like to carve little wooden trinkets too, and then there's my letter work. Sorry to say we're always losing nice about the place. I mean, dozens of the things. They sell them at the market sometimes, 20 for the price of 19. Need to say, snapped up. John prefers to use 2 knives at meal times too, instead of a knife and fork. Now, John, I don't want to. Ah! Here we go with the scoutings. Why are they being so evasive? I imagine it's because they don't want to believe it. They can't bear the thought that it might have been one of the knives that injured the victim. Just entirely understandable, of course, but still. Go on with your testimony, witnesses. Sir.
Hold it! Objection!
You forget my Nipponese friend. That it is yet to be established that the accused is not responsible for the attack. As if I could forget. If only there was somebody to know who to handle the knife. But I suppose wizardry like that is just a dream. Perhaps you're thinking of fingerprinting, Mr. Arahodo. What? You mean it's not a dream? Does their wizardry exist? Whenever people touch anything, they leave behind a unique pattern for their skin, or so they say. But I can't see anything. There are already countries in the world where these so-called fingerprints can be used as evidence. Lord Strong is currently discovering the matter at the Ministry of Justice. Yes, I believe we're rapidly approaching an era of scientific methods of investigation. But for now, we shall have to find an alternative method of proving our assertion. That this knife was found in the victim's back was originally in Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's house. Ugh, if only I could transfer this whole incident several years in the future. Then this incident could be solved if only fingerprinting was an option. Okay, I think I'll present some evidence here.
Objection!
Mr. Garrideb, could I ask you to take a good look at this, please? I should have just presented that instead of the pipe, but oh well. You can ask, so I can't see a bally thing. You can't? You used to call me Dead-Eye Depp in the Burger, of course, but that was some time ago now. Even though I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days. I started to tell a B from a D and a P from a Q to be honest. All he does, dear me, is started wearing being asked about every other letter and every other word. You must be very dizzy. What is that? Tiny scrap of metal? Yes, almost starting from the tip of a blade. And what would appear at first to be just tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence. Interesting. And where did the defense come by this evidence? It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe. My pipe, you say? By Jove, wonder how it got there. Alright guys, I think that'll be it for part 19 and 20, I guess. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. This case has gone pretty long enough, but I think we're almost to the end of it. So